What is going on, fellow Clashers? Thank you so much for investing a few minutes of your day with Galadon and Clash Royale as we talk about who needs epics. We can win with common cards, and this is my Let's Play series, Galadon Gem. Never spent a single gem other than the gems that come free in the game. I am level 3, 597 trophies, and here we go. Now, unfortunately, this is being recorded on the road. We had some issues with the audio, so although it was recorded live, the audio not so live, so I'll do my best to recreate the atmosphere. I'm going up against level 4s almost consistently, and this, one of my favorite opening moves, the Quick Spear Goblin, almost always grabs 100 or so hit points off of the opponent's tower. He throws a bomb tower down, but that was a bit of overkill. The Spear Goblin's done in quickly by the tower itself. And really, other than that opening move, my focus is normally on defense early on in these matches, just counteracting what the opponent throws at me, making sure he doesn't get a lot of damage on those towers whenever possible, saving up elixir and waiting for that magic moment to push forward. So for now, it's just counteracting units correctly. The Valkyrie taken out by the minions. He's got some archers moving in. I will let them advance on the tower. The archers and the tower itself will also take those archers out. In the meantime, the bomb tower is about to expire on its own, and when it does, I can start my own push. The knight from the very back, knowing that the bomb tower would be long gone before the knight got there, he's got the giant, I've got lots of small units, and without using any sort of splash damage behind that giant, it's not going to get to my tower. The skeletons, the goblins get it down as they do the musketeer, and now here comes my push. Everybody moving forward. I've got knights, goblins, skeletons, a big massive rush on his tower. Caught him off guard. He drops a bomber. Bomber goes down in a heartbeat, and the tower isn't far behind. It is going to fall for the 1-0 crown lead. So again, what was a defense ended up being an offensive push. The leftover units that were stopping that giant banded together, moved forward, and took out the tower. So that is what I use at this level over and over and over again. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I never push hard early. These lower level players usually are way too eager to deploy units as soon as they have the elixir. I am going to sit back, defend, and only when the opportunity presents itself do I push forward. And at this point, I've decided, well, I might as well go ahead and amass another offensive. He drops a giant. I had already put so many small units down that the giant just melts like butter in a frying pan, and before you know it, I've got another massive push. I've decided we might as well just go for it. Taking down the Spear Goblin hut, moving forward onto the King's Tower, and that is going to be a 3-crown win momentarily as those units just absolutely grind down the tower, and before you know it, battle is over, and I've grabbed 3 crowns towards my crown chest, and that is really where I'm focused right now. Crown chest is up, so we go back to my profile screen, and there we go, 1, 2, 3. We've got 7 more crowns to go. All the chests are down below, are locked up, but that doesn't matter. We're going after the crown chest, on to the next battle, and it's another level 4. So again, I just try to play it conservatively. Normally, I won't start out with an aggressive move. I will try to defend early, and I was going to place the archers. I see the bomb tower go down, and I think a second time about it, and now it's a matter of just what do I want to sacrifice, because if anything gets up there, the bomb tower takes it down, but the minions, perfect choice. If he doesn't counter them, which he doesn't, that bomb tower is going to be a distant memory. He's got a giant kind of by itself, so again, the small units going to wipe it out easily. If you drop a giant, it's always best to try to support it with a musketeer with splash damage, ideally. A giant moving forward by itself is almost always ineffective, and again, it's led to another defense turned offense as I just push hard on the left side, and again a tower goes down. Now I see that he's got the prince, so I counteract with goblins. Just that cheap set of goblins is almost enough to stop him. I drop the spear goblins as well, and together they keep the prince from doing almost any damage to the tower. He goes down quickly. There's a bomb tower on defense, but look at his king's tower. Again, almost down to about 50% hit points, so I'm already eyeing the 3-crown win down the left-hand lane. It's just a matter of, once again, waiting for the opponent to make the first move. I won't deploy troops unless I'm defending or I hit 10 elixir. So again, he's got the giant, now he's got a mini PEKKA, ideal for lots of small units, minions, archers, skeletons, goblins, Everybody in there quickly overwhelming the giant, taking down the P.E.K.K.A as well. And between those units and the archers, he is elixir starved, and that is my big chance to push once again. A large group advances on his tower, and right here, the defensive goblin barrel. You know you have your opponent on his heels when he is forced to throw a goblin barrel on defense. Now right here, all my units are wiped out, so rather than continuing to push, I play a little bit more conservatively and wait for that elixir to rebuild and wait to react to what he does. He drops the prince down, which people seem to have a problem with, but it's not an issue if you've got just a couple of small groups of troops to keep him from charging your tower. So the prince out of the way, the bomb tower gone as well, and now we see he's got a dragon, but he spent all that elixir down the right. I'm coming down the left. I'm going to ignore the dragon, sending everybody down the left, and yes, you know what's coming once again, and by the time he's able to react, it's far too late. It is GG, another 3-crown win in the books, taking down another level 4, and that much closer to my next crown chest. So right now, really not worried too much about trophies, just focusing on the next chest. I've got chest locked down below, so we can't do anything there. Just need 4 more crowns, so we're back off to the battlefield, and sure enough, we find another level 4. So down here with common cards, often very effective. Now this group of cards that I have could be very weak against well-placed splash damage, but we're just not seeing that. The use of the dragon in the last match didn't happen, so once again, spear goblins right off the start. A great 2 elixir way to grab some free hit points and often make your opponent overcommit in order to counter it. You see he's dropped the musketeer, so I can get in there with these small units and take down the musketeer quickly, the skeletons, the minions as well, and now I've got groups of troops coming from the back, and they're going to use the tower to help them get these troops out of the way, and he finally drops down the prince. So then I drop units up in front to prevent the prince from charging, and once the prince gets melted, well, here we go again. I'm closing in on the tower. The musketeers are not going to be able to stop all of the units, and we're not going to crush the tower right away, but we do get several hundred hit points off of it before he's able to stop those archers. And once again, I'm not going to continue to deploy units. I'm going to sit back, save elixir, and wait to react to what my opponent sends out. So again, the mini P.E.K.K.A seems so popular, but it is so easily countered with units, especially minions. Nothing it can do. They're not going to suffer any damage. And at this point, yes, it's the rage quit. He is done. He's out of here. He has had enough. I have been able to counter every card he's thrown, and the mini P.E.K.K.A, the prince, they seem so powerful, but if you've got the right cards to counter at the right time, there's nothing they can do to get those units in after your tower. It is about playing defense, saving elixir, and knowing what card is the right card to counter your opponent's moves. So whether that was a rage quit or a disconnect, there is no mercy in Clash Royale. Crushing on for the 3rd crown. We will eventually get there. The units didn't quite finish it off. But again, it really comes down to just knowing how to deal with each card. With a mini P.E.K.K.A, it deals so much damage, but obviously it can't touch air units. Even a group of 1 elixir skeletons are going to hold that mini P.E.K.K.A off from your tower, and between the skeletons and the tower itself, the mini P.E.K.K.A is not going to get there. So the units move in, 3 crowns, and there we go. We are now up to 9 of 10 for our next crown chest, and we've collected another 29 trophies. So back to the profile we go, and there we go, 789. We've got 685 trophies and time to get that crown chest with another battle against another level 4. So again, it's small units. You're counting on your opponent making mistakes. This time, he does drop a giant in the back, which is a pretty good opening move. Gives him time to gather more elixir, but then he drops the spear goblin hut from the other side. So maybe he is working on chipping down on my tower on the right hand side as he pushes on the left. There he goes, goblins and skeletons on the left hand side. A good move, but I am able to easily counter the dragon in front, and the arrows should be able to take out just about every small troop he had. So his giant is down, his knight goes down. I've kept the goblins off of my right lane as well. I didn't get any damage on his left tower really, but we're not worried about that right now. It is still early in the match, and I'm more focused on holding him off and waiting for him to make that one big mistake that allows me to push forward and take one of the towers. His Spear Goblin hut is pesky, but if it's not dealt with, it can do massive damage over time. So I'm trying to focus on controlling that at the same time, watching him push down the left, making sure I don't let the giant get all the way in. I've got goblins, I've got skeletons, they're gonna wear that giant down. And again, if the battle takes place in front of my tower, I will always have that added firepower of the tower itself, and that is what usually is giving me the opportunity to turn a defense into an offense. Again, this player not making any big mistakes here, so I'm very patiently waiting for that moment. It hasn't come yet, and we're halfway into this battle. The minions easily counter the bomber, and I'm still like a bird of prey, circling, waiting for that moment to swoop down and take a tower. I'm like a leopard, hiding in the grass, waiting for that moment to jump. Well, you get the picture. I'm waiting for him to commit, to overcommit, and that's when I can make my big move. I'm still using a lot of small troops. A lot of these lower level players don't use a great deal of splash damage, or they deploy it ineffectively. A giant with a bomber behind it or a dragon is much more effective than a giant by itself. Now right here, I'm kind of going against my own advice, and that is, I don't normally drop groups of troops right on the river as soon as I have the elixir, one after the other, but I've decided to push forward for this tower, and it is working. We've overwhelmed him. We're getting to that tower. The units that he's dropping can't stop these groups, and again, lots of small units are pushing forward to the tower, and it's not going to be long before that tower goes down, and that is finally the chance that I wanted to grab that first tower. Now this player doing better than the previous matches, so my push here, he is going to counter. I'm not going to be able to grab the third crown, but I didn't need it. Just needed one more crown to get my chest unlocked, and right here, really all this is doing is keeping the pressure on my opponent so he never has a chance to make a counter-offensive and try to grab that one crown to tie things up. With the constant pressure, time is going to run out. He never gets to move forward, and that is the end of the battle, 1 crown to 0. So another 30 trophies for Galadon Gem, still at level 3, getting very close to level 4, just a couple more upgrades and we will be there. So I'm going to go ahead and open the crown chest and find a bunch of epics in here. No, but then again, who needs epics? I'm telling you, you guys can win at these lower levels without using epics or even rare cards at all. Upgrading cards like the arrows, the spear goblins, that is going to be absolutely key. Those cards are huge down here, and the spear goblins at pretty much any level are still my favorite card in the game. So that is going to wrap up another Let's Play episode of Clash Royale. Let me know what you guys think down below. What would you like to see next? I am on to level 4 very soon. And once again, thank you guys so much for spending a short part of your day with me. I truly appreciate every last one of you. And I hope to see you all back here again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Galadon, level 3. Shall I come down there and smash you again?